and welcome everybody to the very first episode of Elite Perspectives. I'm sitting here with my man T Spice, Talmadge Spicer, the man, the myth, the legend. And I think you guys are going to really love this episode. We're starting strong. I mean, mega strong. You saw him flexing. The whole purpose of this show is for you guys. I'm sitting here. I'm going to give you the big dogs, the industry elites for you guys to hear from and to learn from. So that way you could take this knowledge and apply it to your life. So that way you can really get your foot in the game and live the life that you deserve to live. So T Spice, how you doing today, brother?
Oh man, there's heaven all around me, bro. You know the vibes. I'm so happy to be having this conversation with you today, and I'm so happy to be able to jump into the lives of those that are really looking to get into entrepreneurship and live a life by design instead of by default. I'm pumped.
I hear that, man. I hear that. I'm excited to have you. And for you guys that don't know, T Spice, he's a perception coach, and I'm gonna let him deep dive more into that because his perspective on things is exactly why he's the right guy to teach you about perspective and perception. And I'm not going to steal his thunder. I'm not going to steal any of his lines. I'm going to let him handle that. But he is also an author, if you guys didn't know. And if I don't know if you paid for this, you shouldn't pay for it if it's free. But just hearing the title to this book, you're going to get your money's worth. You can take these notes and take that to the bank. He is the author of Have the Guts to Follow Your Guts. Why playing it safe is the biggest risk of all.
Woo!
Man, if that title doesn't get y'all excited enough to go out, read that book, study this man, talk to this man, learn from this man, then your perception really needs to change. But I'm not going to take away too much of his thunder. I'm going to let you guys hear from him. So T Spice, I just want you to start by giving these guys your story, man. Let them know about you. How did you come to be?
Absolutely, absolutely. So, guys, I'm on a mission to inspire 1 million people to have the guts to follow their guts, right? And what that comes from is from me being a young child and being so curious and analytic around about the world around me that I wasn't too often afraid to walk up to the thing that I was unaware of and try to figure it out, touch it, poke it, flip it upside down. And by being that type of person, I experienced some things that I noticed other people were holding themselves back from. And what I saw in the way was fear of the unknown, fear of the fear of jumping out of their comfort zone, right? So I felt like, with the relationship that I had with my younger sister, where I was like, okay, we were getting creative with different ways to have fun. We didn't really play outside as much as other kids, so we had to get creative. And I was always the person that was like, okay, let me try it out first, see if it's safe, and then you could go ahead and jump in. And I kind of took that characteristic trait and started applying it to other people. I found myself just naturally being a leader. And I consider myself a perceptionist now because we all know your perception is your reality. So I feel like if I can get you to look at something a different way, I can give you the power to change your entire world.
I hear that. And I wanted him to be the one to tell you guys that because, man, that is just powerful because your perception is your reality. And if you can change your perception, you change your reality. Like you said, you change your whole world. And if you guys don't believe that, then you just need your perception to be changed. And that's what he's here for. He has a mission to help 1 million people get the guts to follow their guts. And it's super duper duper powerful. Let these guys know where you reside in, where you at right now.
Right now, I'm in the streets of LA. If you're watching this on video, you see I'm outside today. I've never done this before, and I hope that there's not too much noise going around. I hope you can hear me clearly. But yeah, I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York. I'm in Los Angeles right now, and it's a little bit chillier than it usually is. It's a little bit chillier than I like it to be. I'm this close to calling customer care and see what's going on with this weather. But But yeah, that's where I'm at.
Oh man, I'm sitting here in Charlotte, North Carolina, the complete other side of the country. And man, we had a hot day today, but over there, y'all probably cold. You get this type of weather.
Rub it in, why don't you?
Oh man, California's a beautiful place, man. I went to Cali. I was in Orange County in LA back in September. It's my first time there, and I love it, man. I love it. I want to go back.
Yeah, Orange County is probably one of the most beautiful places in California. Not saying that I've been everywhere, but I've been to Orange County and it's gorgeous.
Hmm. I love it. Only thing I don't like is those prices out there, man. I feel
Oh yeah,
spoiled. How much is gas over there right now?
I wouldn't know. But actually, I wouldn't know. I'm not even gonna guess. I'm not even gonna guess.
Honestly, we're
Yep,
probably like $3 cheaper than y'all a gallon.
could be, could be. I mean, right now with the economic downturn, gas is supposed to be cheaper all over the place, huh?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
It's a lot cheaper where we're at. I never look at
right,
gas prices, but so I was like, man, if he in Cali, I got to brag on the gas prices.
right. Yeah, I
But
don't look at gas prices either. That's all the energy I could be, putting into getting where I gotta go.
it's true, man. It's true. I always tell people when they're looking at gas prices, I'm like, bro, if you think gas is your problem, you
Yeah,
all
right.
you got
Trying
way
to save 10 cents, 10 cents a gallon. Okay,
right.
bro.
While y'all trying to save that 10 cents a gallon, I just made that money.
Right, exactly.
But cool, I'm gonna jump into some of these questions, man. I'm excited about everybody to just hear from you. And I had to get some notes for this one because I want to make sure we do this right.
Oh man, I appreciate you.
Cool. So first one I got for you. There's a lot of chaos going on in the world. And I want you to tell everybody, how do you think people should be responding in times like this?
I'm taking a break right now because I want y'all to receive this. Hakuna Matata. Hakuna Matata. The reason why I say that is because, as an entrepreneur, I've learned that it's important to become an entrepreneur before you become an entrepreneur. And what that means is managing your state, managing your energy, managing what your focus goes to. If you can't manage where you give your energy and give your focus, then you're not going to be able to do much to influence the world around you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you're the type of person that's influenced by the world, I consider that being under the influence, right? That's something we can all understand. When you drink too much, you're under the influence, and therefore you're pretty much out of control, and you're just going with the flow, doing whatever the world says you should do. So when it comes to being under the influence of your circumstance, as far as, whether it's the virus, whether it's the economic downturn, or whatever it may be, it's easier for you to become a victim. You know what I'm saying? Fear is a very powerful thing that people can use. It's a tool that people can use to keep you in your place. Keep them above the influence, keep you below the influence, and it doesn't serve you. So the number one thing that I look out for in situations like this is, what is the element of fear attached to it? Who's portraying it? Who's purporting it? Who's putting it out there? And who benefits from me being afraid?
Mm.
If it's not me, then, you know, I got to rework it. I got to change my perception around it. I really have to look at what's in my control and what's not in my control. And if it's not in my control, this is important. You get to let that shit go. Let that thing go. Focus on what is in your control. And I think when I bring that up, and this is the last point I'm gonna bring up, a lot of us, I feel like we look to control other people, or we wish somebody did this or something went this way or that way or whatever. And you're really powerless to control everybody to the standard that you wish that they would act.
Mm.
But if you realize that that energy that you're giving to controlling somebody could be used to influence them,
Mm.
and that's 100% real, then you will rework your strategy, you will rework your approach. At the end of the day, you're going to do what you're going to do. In my heart of hearts, this is how I feel that you should move, and you allow them to make their own decision I feel like they're much more likely to see things your way. They're going to feel understood, they're going to feel heard, and they're going to feel connected to you. Same thing with the situation, because everything is frequency and vibration. So if you accept that things are going to be the way they're going to be, and I'm only going to focus on putting good positivity and enlightenment into the world, the universe is more likely to reward that, to say, okay, here's your platform, here's what you've been looking to manifest, here's what you've been what you've been praying for, things like that.
Nice. I love it, man. I love it. One of the things my mentor, one of the first things he taught me was there's only two things you have control over. One, your actions, and two, your attitude.
Right. 100%. That's it.
Now you control all this other stuff going on. All you have to do is change your perception, get your action, your attitudes right, man.
Right. Your attitude will dictate your altitude. So get it up there. Let's go. Let's go.
That's right, man. Cool. Well, I know you're huge into people jumping out there, starting their own thing. So I wanted to ask you, if someone wants to start their own business, what steps do you suggest that they take to do so?
Well, the way I did it is different than I would say somebody should do it, right? So what got me into entrepreneurship is leaving college with $150,000 in student debt, right?
Wow.
On top of that, we're about 12 credits short of a degree, right? On top of that, my grandma co-signed the loan. So it's not just me that has to worry about this. Now I have her. She's worried. She's stressed and stuff. And you don't want to see your grandma stressed. You don't want to see her look hopeless or in despair or anything. So that added extra fire to my flame. And when I'm looking at $150,000 of student debt, and Sally Mae wants $4,000 a month, and that's like triple what I'm paying in rent. I'm like, ain't no way. And then what I'm supposed to do? Get a job? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm supposed to get a job, pay these loans. And the way I saw it is, if I chose that route, I'd be paying these loans until the day I died and still be in debt, right? So I was like, okay, that's not an option. So I started looking at entrepreneurship. I started jumping into some books. And my point of this part of the story is learning from those books made me aware that it's going to take a different mindset to become an entrepreneur. You're going to have to see things differently. You're going to have to, take in information differently and apply it differently. I knew that. I got that consciously, logically, got that. Let's go. Let's jump into entrepreneurship with both feet. Most of me is still an employee, but my brain is like, okay, you have to learn. You have to have the guts to follow your guts and stuff like that. So in my first business, I'm like, okay, just move this here, pull this lever, push that button, show up at this time. I'm still moving as employee. I was thinking that it was more about what you did, that made you a successful entrepreneur. And if you move differently, then you'd be more successful. And to a degree, that was correct. But what I was missing was who you become. You have to, it wasn't enough. Like, one of my biggest lessons was it wasn't enough for me to just think positively. When I did that, when I said, okay, just think positive, what I would do unknowingly to me was I would wait for a situation to get super negative, to get out of hand, and for it to be real bad. And it's like, okay, Tal, now think positive, think positive, think positive, think positive. And it's so hard to think positive when you really need to, It's like, it's almost impossible. It's like trying to go to sleep. When you need to go to sleep, when you try, it's the hardest thing to do. So after leaving my first business behind, coming home, working a job, realizing that wasn't for me, and deciding to get back into entrepreneurship the second time, I had to make a decision like, what am I going to do differently? And the shift that I made was, instead of just, taking this information, thinking that it needs to stay in my head, I had to fill myself up. I had to become a positive person. I had to turn off the radio from certain stations. I couldn't listen to the same music. I had to change my diet up. I had to change my daily routine. I had to make sure that I was working out. I had to be a different person, And that's worked because, and I think it's important, and this is the first thing that you want to do when you start a business, is become an entrepreneur first. You are your first business. You want to manage your mind, you want to manage your time, you want to make sure that you're doing things that are in your best interest. You want to start budgeting your money, all of these different things. You want to start writing things down, you want to start journaling. These are the things that you want to do first. And the biggest thing that I learned is emotional intelligence is super important. So building that relationship with yourself is the number one thing that you want to do, through meditation, through visualization, through addressing your old traumas. All these different things are super important. And the reason why is because when you jump into entrepreneurship, there are no guarantees. There are no safety nets. So when things are good and you're feeling happy, you're on a high, all right, that's cool. But when things are down, does that affect your mood? Does that affect your determination and motivation? Most likely it will if you don't do the inner work first. So you've got to get real centered with yourself, get excited about being you, get excited about, the little things. Practicing gratitude is super important for that. And once you do that, and external things don't either make you super happy or super sad, because it's out of your control, ultimately it's going to happen. Then you're ready. Then you're ready. Then you're ready to start a business.
Nice. Hope you guys are taking notes. That was a lot in there. A lot in there. Bunch of truth bombs. You guys don't even know, from the books to inner self, right, to the mentality, but still having to go out there and do the work. Like, man, my senior mentor, a couple of things he taught me was the only thing that separates a multimillionaire from a ditch digger is the way he thinks. And I learned
Big facts.
98% attitude, 2% mechanics. But guess what? If you ain't got them 2% mechanics, you can be the happiest person going nowhere.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people, they focus on hustle, do. That's the mechanics. And I've learned that if you're not taking aligned action, this is what you're saying, that you might as well just be running on a treadmill.
That's exactly what it is, man. Man, I hope you guys are taking notes. There's a bunch of truth bombs in there. Cool. Well, let me ask you this, and this should be an easy question. When it comes to social media, how vital of a role does it play in your business?
It's probably like 100% of my business right now. I mean, I started a social media marketing agency before I decided to jump into coaching. And the reason why I did that was because I saw myself on social media all day anyway, and I felt like that was something of value that I can offer to people. I left that alone because I wasn't passionate about it, but being that I already was exposed to it in that way, I grew up in the 90s, I learned about technology, I have a certain relationship to it. It's hard for me to picture my life without, the technology that we have today. Because that is true, it's a big part of my business. I could look at what we're doing right now, bro. We met on social media. We're posting this on social media. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the lifeblood. You know what I'm saying? It's an essential part of my business, and creating content is an essential part of anybody's business nowadays.
Awesome. And I had to ask, just because you said you grew up in the 90s.
Oh yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 30.
30. All right.
30. That's funny, bro. Oh man, I'm a millennial, but I never really expected saying I grew up in the 90s to be like a trigger at all. Like, to me, it's like, of course, when else do people grow up?
Right. It's cool. So I'm only 26 right now. So you're in that sweet
you grew
spot
up in
where
the
I tell
90s
people,
too.
oh yeah, 93. So you're in that spot where I say you're older than me, but younger than my wife. So.
Right.
But awesome, man. Cool. So next thing, take us through the day in the life of a coach. What do your days look like?
Okay. So first things first, I like to wake up. should I give you the ideal day? Because it fluctuates, and I've learned to accept myself for, how I'm feeling in the moment.
Oh, yeah, give us the reality. I want people to know what it's like because everything ain't all ideal, especially when you're an entrepreneur. It's almost never
Right.
ideal.
You always gonna hear the person talking about the miracle morning and how I wake up every morning at 4 a.m. and go for a run and blah blah blah. And I've tried that and it's cool. I mean, it has its benefits to it. But if I'm being honest with y'all, I really enjoy waking up and the sun is in my face and I just feel fully rested. I'm experimenting with not having an alarm clock at all. I know that if I go to bed at a certain time, I'm going to wake up at a certain time. So on my schedule, I don't schedule anything before, say, 9 o'clock, knowing that I usually wake up naturally 7:30, 8:30 at the latest. Nothing is going to be scheduled at 9 o'clock. So I really feel like it's beneficial for me to just allow my energy to be what it is. So I like that. Um, After that, I'm low key addicted to social media, man. I'm constantly on social media. I'm posting content. I'm posting my thoughts. I don't do too much thinking or judging about what my thoughts are. If it hits my mind, it'll probably cross your timeline. And by by doing that, I start tons of conversations and start building tons of relationships with different people, entrepreneurs, potential clients, the whole nine. I'm on TikTok and I'm creating videos, and that's where my energy is. That's where my focus is. And then I'm talking to, potential clients. Like when I get on the phone with somebody, my interest is in understanding exactly where they are and providing them value. And to make it plain, to get laser on it, I want you to have an aha moment, or a breakthrough. One of those moments where you're like, well, I never thought about it that way. Oh, that's very beneficial. It's very valuable. Um, and that's pretty much my day, man. I'm jumping on podcast. Like, no 2 days are alike, bro. And I love that about my life. I'm not in a mundane routine. This day might be like for the past 3 days, I've actually been on a digital retreat. As a coach, I'm in a coaching program. And the last bang of the program was supposed to be a retreat in Mexico. But due to good old COVID, we had a digital retreat. So that kind of it shifted my entire day. Like it took up from 9 in the morning to 5 in the afternoon. And I've got to be flexible for that. So, that's another thing that I believe. If you're not flexible, you'll be broke. And we don't want to be broke. We don't want to break. So yeah. If there's one last thing I want to say about that, because I'm very fluid and very flexible with my schedule, but I've also gone through all of the different things that they tell you to do when they want to train you to be a millionaire. And I see it as a buffet. It's not a step-by-step regimen. It's not a one-size-fits-all. It's more like a buffet where you can go and try out this, and try that. See what works for you, what fits in your energy best, and then do that, I hold on to this idea that planning is everything, but the plan itself is nothing. Get what I'm saying? Be able to be flexible and move along with the plan, because when I didn't move along with the plan, when I set a schedule, when I set a plan and I wasn't living up to it every time, I started to think more negatively about myself. I started to think I was lazy. I wasn't committed. I needed motivation. And when you feel like you need something, when you feel like you're in lack, it's going to take you in different directions, looking for motivation instead of, selling the product or something like that.
Yeah.
So you want to be careful that you don't let these tools that are supposed to benefit you, you don't want to become a slave to them. Be flexible, be fluid,
That's right, man. That's good for all you guys watching, wanting to be entrepreneurs. You guys got to realize, as an entrepreneur, we get these plans, we have these goals, and which is good because I truly believe where there is no vision, the people perish. You need to have a goal, you need to have vision, you need to know where you're going. Otherwise, you're just aiming, wildly. But you got to realize those plans, they're just guidelines. Like they're guiding you around the way, but it's not an exact cookie cutter path.
Right.
Oh,
That's the mistake I made.
I saw a guy earlier. He posted, very successful guy, multi 8-figure business owner. He said, "Every day I lose, and if you can't accept that, then entrepreneurship's not for you." And I
Right.
was like, "Bro, that's facts. You
Yeah.
ain't ready to take them L's, but you
Right.
got still, like you said, that perception. You gotta know you're gonna take those L's, but those L's aren't gonna be losses. They're lessons you learn.
Lessons. Yep. Yep.
So you gotta grow from that. But um, last thing I gotta ask you before we jump into our game: what advice do you have for everyone watching that wants to, get to your level or that want to go down the same path to being a coach as you? What advice you got for these guys?
Do it. Don't think. Just do it. Just do it. Have the guts to follow your guts. It's my motto. It's what I live by, and I believe in it because we all want to be ready. We all want to be prepared. We all want to be comfortable making this transition. But what I've learned is that you're not gonna be ready to take a leap of faith. That's what makes it a leap of faith. You get what I'm saying? You can try to prepare all you want. You can save up all your money all you want, but what's really gonna teach you is falling on your face, and being able to get up and still see that you have value to offer and just going about it a different way. You know, I have a formula for confidence, and it's clarity plus consistency equals confidence. So that's how you have the guts to follow your guts. Get super clear on what you want. Your vision has to be super clear. And when you have somewhat of a vision, start asking yourself why that's important to you. Ask yourself why you want what you want at least 7 times. So I'll say, oh, I want to create generational wealth. Why? So that my family doesn't have to have the same struggles that I had. Why? So that they can focus on getting creative and doing stuff that's actually meaningful to them. Why? Because I believe if they do that, they're going to make the world a better place. Why? And just keep going. They'll be able to, do this and do that. And you just keep going. And that's the practice of getting your vision clear. Once you do that, then you want to come up with a plan, a strategy, you know what I'm saying? And start taking consistent action. Start looking at the daily habits that you have on, the habits that you have on a daily basis. Are you meditating? Are you reading a book, 30 minutes of reading a book every day? Are you doing affirmations? Are you practicing gratitude? Are you journaling? Like I said earlier on, I don't think that anybody needs to do all of the things, and you may not even need to do any of the things. I strongly recommend that you find some of these things that work for you, because then it puts you in a state of working for more than just money. You're working for personal development. You're interested in how you're thinking and how your mind is wired, and you're interested in rewiring it for success. So you want to take consistent action. And once you do that, I've learned that one or two things are going to happen when you're taking consistent action. You're either going to get a lesson, congratulations, you achieved your goal, or you're going to get you're going to get a blessing, congratulations, you achieved your goal, or you're going to get a lesson, right? So even though you're pretty much taking shots in the dark every time you take a leap of faith. If you miss your target, you now learned more about where the actual target is, and you can adjust and hit your target the next time. So the best thing that you can do is take action. But what gets in the way of action, I see a lot of people are like, oh, law of attraction, just wish it and then you don't have to do anything. It's like, okay, I feel like you're just diminishing what it is, because the law of attraction never said take action. Matter of fact, the last couple letters of attraction is action. You know, what I think it means is, underlying the action, there's certain thoughts, there's a certain vision that is going to inspire motion out of your muscles, you know. So have the vision, let that inspire you, take inspired action, fall on your face, learn from your failures or your lessons. First you learn and then you drop the L. Y'all get that later. First you learn, then you drop the L. That leads to confidence. and you're gonna take a leap of faith. You're gonna take multiple leaps of faith. I also had to learn that. I thought, okay, I moved to California, leap of faith, check. No, no, got more leaps of faith in you. But yeah.
Nice. Awesome, man. Yeah, you guys make sure you're taking notes because that was some good advice. That was some good advice. And it's a lot. For time's sake, I'm not gonna add on to that, but actually, I will add one thing. I was doing my formula in there also. One thing I learned early on in entrepreneurship, I was taught that commitment to consistency breeds emotional stability.
Ooh, say it again.
Yeah, I gotta say it again, man. Commitment to consistency breeds emotional stability. When you commit to being consistent, that's where that confidence and that emotional maturity comes in because you're like, man, I've done it. Like, put your head down, do the work, do the work, do the work, do the work. Don't care about the results. Go to the no's to get to the yeses, go to the failures to get to the success. And then when you get confident in the fact that I'm doing what it takes, it doesn't even matter what anybody else says, what the world shows. You're like, I don't care about none of that. I'm doing the work and I'm going to get the result. Period.
Facts on facts on facts.
But awesome, guys. So now we're about to play a game called Elite Instincts. So as being Elite Minds marketing, you guys know we always got something to play into the brand. So this is a game. It's the first time it's ever being played. And here's the rules. I'm going to throw out a word, and T-Spice, you have to react off the top of your mind, the first word, well, ideally one word, the first thing that comes to mind after hearing this. You ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right, here we go. Job.
My bad, bro. That's really what came up. I don't know what word that was. Second word is broke.
Nice. I did that same thing out with my wife. I was like, job. She was like, ew.
It's not fair.
All right, you ready? Let's go. Work.
Hard.
Money.
Opportunity.
Success.
Love.
Vacation.
All day.
Hustle.
Hard.
Competition.
Non-existent.
Books.
Knowledge.
Interviews.
All day.
Speaking gigs.
All day.
Elite minds.
It's what we are.
Talmadge.
Powerful.
There you go. You heard it. The man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Powerful himself.
I'm hyped.
Cool.
I
Well,
appreciate you, man.
yeah, we're just going to end this the right way, man. I'm rolling out the red carpet for you. Tell these guys what you got going on. Let them know what they need to be looking out for.
All right, so you guys already know about the book. Have the guts to follow your guts. Why playing it safe is the biggest risk of all. It's gonna get officially released. It's released for pre-order right now. So if you want to take advantage of the discounted price, you want to get in contact with me through Instagram, Facebook. I'm Talmadge Spicer, my guy T Spice. Hopefully we can drop a link somewhere where you can click on it. But I'm officially releasing the book on April 12th, my 30th birthday. And if you really want to be serious about making a transition in your life, I am running a program called Get the Gist. GYST stands for Get Your Shine On, Shine Together, right? It's a 90-day accountability boot camp, and we're gonna take it to the next level. So get in contact with me, and we'll make something happen.
Awesome. And we're going to drop some links below. Let these guys know where they can find you on social media. Where can they follow you?
You follow me on Instagram, my guy T Spice. You can follow me on TikTok, my guy T Spice. You can follow me on Facebook, my guy T Spice.
There you have it. follow my guy, T Spice. And we hope you guys got a lot out of this interview. And you guys got questions for me, you got questions for T Spice, reach out to us. It's both of our goals to bring value to your guys' lives. So, other than that, we'll see you guys in the next episode.